Hello, happy birthday, Changbin. It is one day ahead in Korea, so your birthday already passed, but it's today in America, so happy birthday. Today, I thought of this video a couple hours ago, actually. I have a video where I'm gonna go over all the 3 Racha songs that you need to listen to, but I am gonna start off with Changbin's best verses. Now, if you don't know, my favorite group is Stray Kids and my bias is Changbin. I cannot have a dissertation for every single verse because I am sweaty and I am tired and I'm a little itchy. And also, I'm gonna sound very repetitive. I'm just gonna hit key points and specific things that I liked in verses. Will I be including the verses? I kind of want to make money. So I don't know if I will. Maybe it'll be just really fucking distorted. This is in no particular order, but I will say which ones are my favorite of my favorite. Let's get started. First, we're gonna start off with... What are we gonna start with? First, we're gonna start off with Mirror Mirror. Now, if I were to rank this, this would be top 3. This would be top 2, honestly. I heard this verse and I levitated. So compared to other verses like God's Menu and Thunderous, where he starts out yelling, or at least very loud. Mirror Mirror, he doesn't start off like that. He starts off a little bit more quieter. It exudes confidence. Super Bowl. Super Bowl is another song by Stray Kids that exudes confidence. Super Bowl is that quiet, or not quiet, well, I mean technically they're whispering, but calm confidence. You don't need to yell all the time to be heard. And obviously Changbin has a very commanding voice, but he knows when to show it off and pull back, and he's still able to obviously show confidence. Something I also really like is the animation in his voice. Just in that 3 Racha video, I'm going to talk about Bangchan, Han, and Changbin and what they do best. Out of all the 3 of them, when I think of a very animated voice, I think of Han, but Changbin is also very, very good at this. Something I also like that you're going to see come up a lot is his flow change. As I was doing my research, aka just listening to Changbin verses like I normally do, it's not even. It's not normal for him to be even. It's not normal for him to ride the beat evenly on an even count. He's always pausing, or he's always stressing certain words, maybe saying a word a little bit slower, so then he has to rap the rest super fast. The last word in a sentence is being overlapped by the next word in the next sentence. It's just all uneven. Like when I'm listening, I'm like, how did you even think to separate the counts in this way so you could even rap like this? I feel like he goes out of his way to be different. One of my favorite verses also because of his self-concept and how confident he is. There are a couple lines in there, at least 2 about being a tree and just being like deep rooted, and I loved his line about how it's a funny game because he always wins. It's a cruel game. The last line. I have looped that last line I think maybe 6 or 7 times. 1, because he sounds attractive, but I kept listening to the last line. If you could draw how he sounds when he raps, it's never this. It's never monotone. That's the problem with some rappers. They have no animation in their voice. Someone who's really good at having a very animated voice is Nicki, and it's never like this. Changbin, it's literally here, it goes up and down. It's like a wave. And sometimes he stops and then he goes super fast. Next we have Charmer. I mean, obviously the... It's so funny because Felix and Changbin, they have whispered in songs before, and you would think that they would constantly be showing off how their voice sounds because both their voices are obviously attention catching. But Changbin whispering in this sounds so good. Also, Charmer is one of my favorite Stray Kids songs and just one of my favorite songs in general. His voice matches the beat well because, you know, he had a louder voice in the beginning of his verse, but it went down and became more quieter and more calm. Charmer, like with the flute and everything, the beat, there's not really like a lot going on versus like God's Menu, but it's still dramatic and dominating, and I think that's a great way to explain Changbin and his voice, especially in this rap. Next, we have 3 Racha. So talking about loudness and rapping with Changbin, he is literally attacking this song, attacking this beat. Even if you don't know what he's saying, even if you don't know, he sounds confident. Also, specifically, the flow switch 43 seconds in is so good. His flow is so smooth, but he's rapping on a drill beat. Like, the beat is literally so dominating and hard, and his voice is a great opposition to that, the way that he's rapping. Next we have Heyday. Once again, a more calmer verse, but he still has a lot of animation in his voice, which I really do appreciate. He also seemed to be over pronunciating a lot of words. The end of the words seem to be pronounced in like a sharper way, and I don't know, to me Heyday sounds like a robot. The instrumental sounds very sharp, so I don't know if that was intentional and he wanted to match the feel of the instrumental. As I was writing, I noticed when I got to Muddy Water that he doesn't rap evenly. In Muddy Water, he sounded like he was pushing out the words with force. Next we have Freeze. Once again, if this was ranked, this would be in my top 3. And it's so funny because this is like, his verse is like 3-4 sentences. It's not a lot. So the way that he pronounced and just the way that he said certain words, this is what I was talking about when I said earlier in the video, stressing certain words. Once again, not even. So he was stressing on certain words, which means if he stressed this word, he had to rap faster and catch up. Right after changbin said the last word of his verse, Felix immediately picked up. There was no space in between. If he rapped the way that Felix rapped, which is just rapping on a more even count, then there would be that little space between changbin and Felix's rap, and I like how it just automatically goes from changbin to Felix. But that was the intro. My favorite part, his verse later in the song. So I was counting and each line is evenly broken into 4 counts. Felix was rapping on the even counts, Han was rapping on the even counts, and all of a sudden you have changbin coming out of nowhere doing whatever the fuck, and it sounded amazing. Next we have Christmas Evil. I have nothing to say about this. I feel like a lot of people would be surprised that I'm putting this up there. I don't know, I just liked the story that he told when I read the translation of the lyrics, and just in general, a Christmas song about hating Christmas. I specifically manifested the song because I wanted more Christmas songs that are like rap and not like yeah. Next we have Easy. Not much to say here. Once again, I like his flow. He's so effortless in switching his flows, which once again can be hard because if you start off slow and then you end fast, it just can be hard. So the fact that he does it, and he does it so well. Doodle, obviously. Quick tangent, people were like making fun of the way he said doodle, and like, is that not racist? That's not good, right? Like, you're making fun of a way that a non-English speaker pronounces an English word. If that's not racist, it is weird. Like, you're weird. Next we have Wow. If you are a stay and you have never heard Wow, type in Wow by 3racha and have a great time. 2 things. 1, listening to this just reminds me of how deep his voice is now. And 2, he rhymed Fiona and Shrek with swag. We have Double Knot. Nothing to say about that besides the fact that it's great. And I don't mean Double Knot by Stray Kids. I mean Double Knot by 3racha. And last we have Matroshika. I'm pretty sure this was my first time hearing changbin like have an isolated verse rapping versus like, I don't know, in God's Menu or like a Stray Kids song where it's like 2 or 3 lines. And obviously his voice was just made for rapping because it sounds so different. Changbin doesn't sound like anyone else. He sounds like himself. And then throughout the song his voice was just super raspy and I loved it. Happy birthday, Changbin.